So the next thing we're going to work on is pendulums. So some of you will already be familiar with pendulum use and some of you won't. I'm always going to be teaching at the base level, so here we go. This is a pendulum. Generally speaking, it has a nice chain, maybe a weighted ball on the end, maybe not, and then a nice weighted hanging portion. Honestly, you can use pretty much anything as a pendulum. Don't feel restricted or limited. If you have a necklace that's nice and weighted, feel free to take it off and use it as your pendulum. Just hold the chain as the chain of a pendulum. That's absolutely fine. So let's get started on how to play with a pendulum. The first thing we're going to do is hold it by the heavy end. This leaves the dangly end coming down, and you're just going to gather that up into your hand. This stops it from hanging and interfering with the swing. So if they're both swinging, they can get tangled and it can get a little bit annoying. So just gathering that free end into your hand. I like to leave just a little bit of hang. So maybe 2 inches up to 10 centimeters, just a little hang. If you start with a really long hang in the beginning, it has a lot more free motion and a lot more ability to be misread just because we're a bit twitchy and you might be nervous or excited. So keeping a nice short leash just helps it make it more clear to read. Once you have it all ready here, you can use your other hand sort of as a base and just hold it underneath the pendulum. You don't need to do this by any means. It's just a way of giving you a reference point, a really close way of seeing so you can see if the pendulum is moving. It also centers the energy. So the first command we need you to learn to give is stop. If you're having difficulty making your pendulum stop, really try bracing your elbows. So you can put it on your knee, you can brace it on a table, you can brace it on your rib cage, anything that works for you. Just making sure that you're a bit more braced so you're not getting that over-caffeinated, twitchy thing. And then holding this over your hand, we're going to say stop. Now, having your pendulum vibrate in place is absolutely fine. Don't panic about that. We just want to make sure that it is not swaying like mine is right now because once again, I'm recording a video and I'm not focused. So making sure you're holding your intention and really focusing on stop. If you have trouble with this command, it can be because you have trouble speaking from your lady balls, your gonads, really bringing that strong, determined energy up. I want you to clench your stomach muscles and feel that strength come up, and then command, stop. You can't do this like yelling at someone gently, like, stop. It won't listen to you. I like to think of pendulums and most tools, actually energetic tools, like toddlers. You have to really use firm voice with them. They're constantly distracted, constantly a little out of it, and you need to be really present and focused for them. So really focusing your intention on stop. If it trembles in place, that can just be a sign of good energy. Don't worry about it. We just don't want any sway. And then you're going to say, show me yes. And hopefully your pendulum starts moving. Yay! And just try to remember what that swing looks like. So in this case, mine is going front to back, which is now yes for me. It's teaching me its language. So this is yes. Then we say stop. And then we're going to say show me no. So now I'm getting a nice right to left swing. Stop. Show me I don't know. And now I'm getting a counterclockwise circle. So these aren't standard ways. You're going to have to learn the language of your pendulum, and each pendulum may speak differently. So they may use different swings at different times. Even the same pendulum can use a different swing at different times that you use it. So always check in on what language it's using before you begin a pendulum read, just to make sure you're not missing. All right, so once you have yes, no, stop, and maybe, you can read absolutely anything you want to know that's a yes or no question. So feel free to play, ask any questions you want, find out what your pendulum has to say to you, always keeping in mind that your pendulum is just an extension of your own abilities. It's not its own innate energy. The stone itself will have an energy, but this is your energy talking to you through a tool. You obviously don't necessarily need it, but it is a fun way to externalize an internal gift. I encourage you to play a lot with this because the more you practice, the better you'll get. Troubleshooting, if your pendulum will not listen to you, if it will not listen to yes, no, maybe, it does not respond to any commands and it just sits in place, especially if it just vibrates, it may not be the pendulum for you. You can try re-cleansing, you can try bonding with it after cleansing, so really making sure that you have cleansed, bonded with your pendulum can often help, but if it really, really won't, then you may have to give it away and get a different one. I'm sorry about that. If you're having trouble like this and you don't want to go out and buy stuff, feel free to go through your necklace collection and grab one that you already own. You will tend to already be bonded with it and may have a better experience with that. Good luck with this, enjoy, and I'll see you guys in the next video.